Today, we're talking about connecting on the internet, connecting with each other and with clients and potential clients and stuff. So stay tuned. Welcome to the Christian Musicpreneur Podcast, where we provide tips, tools, techniques, and resources to help you grow your ministry. I'm your host, Simone Henry, a business coach and mentor for independent Christian recording artists. Hey, good afternoon, evening, everybody. If you're on the East Coast, it may be morning somewhere else. I don't know. But today I wanted to talk about connecting with each other on the internet. And just basically share some things that are working for me so that maybe these things will work for you and get you better results when it comes to connecting and networking with industry professionals and radio people, other people, whoever it is that you want to connect with on the internet. So back in 2020, this was 2 years ago. Now I went on a weekend retreat for entrepreneurs, and I learned a lot. One of the things was to, basically step out of my comfort zone and be able to share, what it is that I do and what I have to offer. And some of the things that I've learned was being confident about what I have and not necessarily being a perfectionist about it. That's one of the things that stopped me from really being a good marketer when it came to my initial website, the Christian Jukebox, because it was a great website and it offered a great service, but I was super shy about putting it out there. And, and I've learned to not be such a perfectionist, and that you put it out there, you share it, and your people, your clients, people who dive into it, they will give you feedback and help you to improve. And that's what's been happening with Eshe Music. The first time I launched the Monetize Your Music Ministry program, it didn't have some of the things that are in it now. It didn't have some of the bonuses that I include. And then I launched a different program, and that program had some different things. And then this one, I basically put them together. I put some of the stuff together, and I think it's just better. It's all about listening to your audience. When it comes to being an artist, you have to do the same thing. When your fans are telling you, hey, we would love vinyl, or we would love, or we're not buying CDs anymore. So, then that you need to stop pressing CDs and sell something else, get something else into their hands, offer them something else that they might want. It's a lot of listening involved, right? I learned that people do want what I have to offer, and so I shouldn't be afraid to put it out there. And another thing too, a big thing that I learned was she taught us not to assume what's in other people's bank accounts, because we just don't know. So, I price my services and I put it out there, and I let my potential clients sit with it. And they tell me whether they're ready to jump in or not. And it's not just the cost for them, it's also value. Like, they have to determine for themselves, is this valuable? Is this something that is actually going to help me? So when it comes to trying to connect and put myself out there and share what I have going on and connect with people and drawing them into my world, I start with content. So as an artist, your content would be your behind the scenes photos, videos, sharing the journey of how a project comes to be. I see a lot of artists will they'll talk about anything but what's going on with their music on social media. And then when their project is released, then it's like, bam, here it is. There's the project. And you get no kind of lead up, no lead in whatsoever. And, and you just kind of want people to buy it, and there's no drawing people in, you know. So that content that comes beforehand is pretty valuable, is very valuable. I have learned one of the things I don't do really on social media is to tag people in my posts when I want them to see it. I do want people to see my posts, absolutely. And I know that my posts they don't go to everyone, right? Facebook, I think, shows your organic post to about 20% of your friends list on your personal page, and only about 1 to 2% of your people who like your business page or your fan page. So when it comes to being able to share something with everybody, then running those ads is pretty crucial. But one thing I have found is that when I am putting out this content and I'm sharing what I'm sharing, then I'm drawing the people who are interested. So without necessarily, I find people tag me all the time in stuff. And to me, it just feels like spam. But if you let it happen organically, or if you're putting it in the groups and you're actually starting conversations with people, this is something that somebody shared with me recently, is that, if the people that you want to see it, if you're starting conversations with them on social media, then the algorithm will tend to gravitate towards showing your post to those people as well. Have you ever noticed like how your posts get shown to like the same 20 people all the time? But if you are interacting with other people, then Facebook especially will start sharing your posts with some other people as well, because they'll feel like, oh, okay, these two people are more closely connected, so we should go ahead and share this post with them. For me, the tagging just feels like spam, especially because I've noticed, I think that the tagging is like, you get 100, you can tag 100 people and that's it. So yeah, I'll see like my name in there as one of 100 people, and it's usually people who I don't really talk to on a regular basis. They're not in a close circle with me, and so they tag me in order for me to see stuff. And a lot of times what it is that they're sharing is not very targeted at all. They're sharing stuff that I'm not necessarily interested in and that I don't really have anything to do with. And I think that if, like, just because you're a music person, that they want you to be involved in all their music things, even though, like, for you to tag me in something that, oh, I just dropped my new project, or I have new music coming out, and you're not a client of mine, I'm not necessarily interested. It's just kind of random. And I think another reason why people do it is that they want that post to show up on your page so that the people who are visiting your page will see it. And so it's kind of like backdoor advertising to your audience. And that might work for a lot of people. It doesn't work for me. I've locked down my page. So people can't just post on it willy-nilly. But when I post content and people are contacting me and scheduling calls and stuff like that, I know that they're actually interested. They've taken the time to seek me out after seeing something that I posted. And one thing I'm learning lately is that that the videos work really well, live and and otherwise. Live and recorded videos work pretty well. People like to see me and hear me. Who knew? Let's see. So yeah, so they'll message me, and then we have a conversation and we just kind of go from there. And then sometimes I'll set up an appointment and that kind of thing. So when it comes to as an artist, it'll be the same thing, right? If you are posting good content on your page out there and people are seeing it, and if you're asking for, and I'm big on calls to action, if you're asking for some sort of action, people will respond and they'll take that action. If you're asking them to comment, you ask them to like and share, they'll do it. So if you have good content and you're doing that call to action, people will respond. Some people will message you wanting to know more. And so when that happens, you just talk to them like they're a friend and you continue the conversation and hopefully get what it is you both want out of it. Sometimes I get messages from people who are interested in my services, but they'll start with this whole small talk thing first. Hi, how are you? How are you doing? How's it going with your ministry? How's it going this year? That kind of thing. And sometimes I can't tell if it's an artist who is interested in my services or if it's a dude trying to mac, because that happens too. I can't tell by that initial sentence, really. So what I do is I have a standard reply. Hey, it's good to connect. I think, how does it go? Do you have questions about your music ministry? How can I help you in your music ministry? So I'll say something like that, basically to move the conversation along. If it's an artist who's interested in finding out what I do and how they can be involved, then they'll answer that question. They'll say, oh yes, well, I need such and such, and do you do such and such, and how can I work with you, right? And if it's somebody else who has some other ulterior motive or whatever, then I'll know right away, because the idea is to really just move the conversation along. Yeah, I know right away. The other day, I think it was yesterday, somebody messaged me and asked me, they said that they were going to give me $1,000 in my Cash App. And I'm like, okay, great. Why are you giving away $1,000? Because there's a lot of scams out there. You want to know, and it feels like it's not a scam because they're giving you something. But, I was just trying to dig deeper, like what's really happening? What's going on here? So this person said, yeah, I'm going to give you $1,000. And at first they didn't answer me. And then like a couple of days later, they came back and messaged me and said, they actually had a screenshot of my Cash App and said, hey, is this you? I said, yeah, that's me. He was like, okay, I'm going to send you the $1,000. I said, great, thank you. And, but first you need to change your email address on your Instagram account to this email address so that we can do some sort of identity verification. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I have a brand. And I'm not going to allow somebody else to get into my account and mess up my brand. That's not happening. He's like, oh, we're not changing anything. You only have to leave it there for a minute and then you can switch it back. I don't know what Instagram's policies are. I have no idea that if, because it totally was a scam. Because what happens, you change your email address. They send that email address a verification to allow them to get into the account. And next thing you know, my account's all screwed up. Anyway, so, I told him, hey, you already found my Cash App. Just send the money. What do you need me to? Oh, well, we have to verify. Like, I know who I am. I am already verified. Thank you very much. So that's definitely something to watch out for. This is, there's a lot of bad actors. There's a lot of bad actors out there. But if you are trying to reach out to an industry person and you're trying to send them your music, send them a or get on their show or anything like that, what's been happening with me is that people will just, they'll friend me. I get the friend request and I, accept the friend request, and then the next thing I know, I get a YouTube video in my DMs. And that's it. No message. No, hello, how are you? No, hey, my name is so and so. I'm such and such artist. This is my latest song. Do you think, do you think it's good enough to promote, or whatever it is that they want, right? They won't say anything. They just drop a video. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. When we're talking about connecting, let's remember that you're talking to a human being. There is a human being on the other side of that messenger app, right? There is somebody actually looking at that. If you were, imagine that you were to see this person at a conference or after a concert or something, and you walk up to them, what would you say? What would you do? You don't just hand them a card with your YouTube link on it and then just walk away. No. What would you do? You'd introduce yourself. You tell them who you were, what you wanted from them. A lot of times people will say, oh, I'm just blessing you with this music. Thank you very much. I don't necessarily need that. I mean, I have my own playlist and whatnot. But if you're actually trying to get this person to do something with it, then say so. Let them know, because people can't read your minds. Nobody can read your mind. So when it comes to connecting on the internet, imagine how it would be in the real world and do the same thing. The thing to do is to remember that you're talking to a human being. There is a person on the other side, right? We're not talking to a messenger bot. Have a genuine desire, especially when it comes to networking and stuff. Have a genuine desire to help. And, if you need help, think about what the other person needs as well. If you're talking to somebody who is running a promotion company, right? The biggest thing that businesses want are clients and customers. So if you have absolutely no intention of being a customer, then just sit back, watch their free content, and leave it alone until you're ready. Some people want to just take up time, and even though there's tons of free content out there, they want more. They want private information. What can you do for me? Think about the other person. Think about their needs, right? If you're talking to somebody who is a radio, a DJ, music director, program director, or somebody like that, and you're submitting your music, tell them what it is you want, and remember that they want something. And a lot of times they want listeners. So if you have a lot of likes, you have a lot of followers, let them know that. Tell them, hey, this is my new single that I'm promoting. Find out if they accept it through Messenger, because maybe they don't. Maybe they have a form on their website. Maybe they want you to mail them a CD, There are still program directors who want a CD in the mail. Find out what it is, how they want it, right? Everybody has their own process. But the thing that a lot of these radio stations want, they want listeners, and they want you to promote on their station. Why? Because running the station costs money. I know that in a lot of ways, it can be very expensive to be an artist, because everything has its price, right? Um, Learning has its price, producing has its price, time in the studio, renting venues for your concerts and things like that. Everything has its price. But just because someone is charging you for something doesn't mean that they're trying to scam you. It just means that they're running a business, and this is how business is. This is how this works, right? You pay for the service. It doesn't mean that they're trying to scam you. And when it comes to, yeah, everything costs. If you can work out some way to help them, they may be willing to give you a deal. You never know. Um, and it also behooves you to make sure that you are bringing new fans into your fan base, and also that you are, whatever it is, like people who are playing your music on their station, if they're adding your songs to their playlists, if they're interviewing you for their radio show or anything like that, or for their podcast, anything like that, make sure that you are promoting that to your audience, because the thing that everybody wants, all of these folks who run different shows, the thing that they want the most are listeners, watchers, people to pay attention, right? And so if you can help them out with that, then they are more likely to want to deal with you. If you're not willing to help them, if you just kind of want to, oh, great, my stuff is out on that station, okay, check that off, I can move on, then that doesn't really help them. Does anybody have any questions at all? If not, yeah, there's a lot of shady stuff that goes on out there, Josh. Yeah, so that is pretty much my talk on connecting with people on the internet. The thing to remember is that there's a person on the other side of that messenger. There's a person on the other side of that profile. There's a human on the other side of that post that has their own wants, right? And so when it comes to connecting with them, don't just drop a video and move on. Say hello, introduce yourself, tell them what it is you're looking for, what it is you want. And maybe they can help you, maybe they don't. If they can't help you, then don't get mad. I was actually having a conversation with somebody today, and this happens with my African brothers and sisters on a regular basis. They message me and say, hi, I need help with my music ministry. And I'll say, okay, what kind of help do you need? What is it that you're looking for? Oh, I need sponsorship. And I say, well, I can't really sponsor you if you're asking me to sponsor you. I don't really sponsor people. That's not what I do. And the next thing they say, oh, well, but I need money. And I have a standard response for that one too. I give them advice. I tell them, hey, go out there, share your music, ask for donations, thank people for the donations, collect email addresses, and start building up that audience. I had one guy, I gave him that advice today, and thinking, okay, he's going to take the advice, he's going to say thank you and move on. No, he didn't. He said, oh, but the churches here don't support people. Or no, he said, the churches here don't pay. And I said, well, you're not asking them to pay. You're asking for donations. You're asking to share your music, and you're asking the people for donations. Oh, but the churches here don't support people. Well, then I can't help you. There's nothing else I can do. The thing that they're asking, I know exactly what they're asking. They're asking me to send them money is what they're asking me to do. That's not going to happen. You just don't do that. You don't. And then he says, well, what can you do for me? I don't know about the music business. I said, well, here's my website. I have courses. If you can't get into my one-on-one programs, there's some courses that you can take. Oh, but I don't have money. I'm sorry. There's nothing else I can do for you. Especially if you're not willing to get out there, get off your behind and do what I said to do, and at least try it. At least try it. This one lady, I had her, she was like, I don't really have money. I can't, everything is so expensive, whatever. I told her, do a live stream and set up a tip jar. And she did, and she made $200 with her first live stream. It's not super hard. If your product is music, share your music. And share a bit of yourself, share why you're doing this. That's part of building your brand, because if you're not willing to at least do that, then what can anyone do? What can anyone do for you? So I think I have covered that topic pretty. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, leave your biggest takeaway. Hopefully next week I will have an interview. I'm scheduled to record it. So next week, hopefully I will have an interview. If I don't, there will be another topic that we will talk about. Okay, so I will see you again next week. Have a good night. If you are loving this content and you want to work with me to help your ministry move forward, then schedule a call with me now at eshemusic.com/MMA. That's ECHEmusic.com/MMA. I'm looking forward to talking with you. Thanks for listening to the Christian Musicpreneur podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean a lot to me if you would like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Feel free to share your takeaways in the comment section below and join my free Facebook group, Christian Recording Artists Seeking Freedom. See you next time, and remember to take action and never give up.